Microphone check 1 2 1 2. If you don't know this podcast, it's cool. Ladies and gentlemen, Caitlin and Bruce, welcome to episode 62 of the Judgment Podcast. I'm your host. I'm getting better at this. I'm your host, Dontavius Rowe. To my left is Vince.
Yo.
Off camera is the audience member.
Tape before a live studio audience.
Yeah, goddamn right. Let's round of applause for him. What's up, y'all? How you feeling, man?
Both hands.
Typical. I was talking about mentally, but I accept that answer. Hey, yo, YouTube, go fuck yourself. Like, I don't think you heard me, YouTube. Go fuck yourself.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Like, go into the room and ejaculate yourself by your own hand, if that's what you want to call it.
Well, their hand might identify as something else. Might be a foot.
Right. Or elbow.
Mm-hmm.
Ejaculate yourself with your clavicle, wherever you want to call it, your aorta. But then again, I prefer you using your aorta. That way you can shut the fuck up a lot longer. Yeah, but YouTube, go fuck yourself. Quoted by Elon Musk, an African American.
Mm-hmm.
He is African American. So is Charlize Theron, or Theron, however you want to pronounce it. Theron, if you're feeling sexy. And just recently discovered Dave Matthews.
Yeah.
Is African American. Round of applause. So, if they're African American, would they be non-binary niggers?
Surprise, motherfucker.
You hit the wrong button.
Did I, though?
This is all wrong.
I mean, you really didn't. But are they non-binary niggers? Are they the salt?
The what?
Are they the salt and Vita pepper?
Oh, my gosh.
Are they paprika?
Well, wait, hold on a second. If they're the salt and we're the pepper, who's Spinderella?
The mixed ones.
Oh, okay.
That was horrible. Round of applause for our audience. I'm glad they had picked that one up. That was great. That was great. You gotta admit, that was great.
I mean, yeah.
That was great.
Shout out to Trevor Noah.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Right? I was surprised too.
Hey, when is he going to start being funny again?
I don't know. When is he gonna start being black? That boy about as black as an episode of Brady Bunch.
Damn. Well, remember that time the tiger was in the mud? I mean,
I guess he's the
that's
tiger.
wrong. Right.
Wash it off is really that boy blacker than 3:00 in the afternoon.
Damn. Blacker than a snowstorm.
Right. blacker than the Alps.
Damn. Blacker than the sun? I mean,
He about as black as these room lights.
damn. But, but seriously, like, he's, like, when I first found him, he was saying some funny stuff, and then at some point it just stopped. He kept talking, but it just wasn't funny anymore.
I thought Trevor Noah was a white man black facing.
Surprise, motherfucker.
This is all wrong.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
No, but seriously, like, he's not, I mean, he would actually, he'd make a really good news anchor, but they're not funny. So, like I said, he'd make a really good news anchor.
He had his moments where, like, I got a good chuckle from him. But at the same time,
Yeah, but it's not continuous. Like Jon Stewart, he was hilarious.
it's almost like female
Steve Colbert,
comedians.
he was hilarious.
It's almost like female comedians. Sometimes they're only funny in spurts.
Roseanne Barr is hilarious.
She's the exception.
Well, no, there's a few others. But
She's one of the exceptions.
yes. Lucille Ball,
Lucille Ball.
yep.
Had
Hilarious.
me balling.
Mm-hmm.
And she was the first redhead I ever fell in love with.
That's besides the point.
That's besides the point.
What do you call it?
Audience member trying to hurt my dreams.
Right. Well, she had red hair. That's
She
fine.
had red
That's all that
hair.
matters. No.
I mean, I didn't care if the carpet matched the drapes.
Who even cares about,
Right. I
about the
was
carpet?
eating anyway.
Right. That's horrible. No. But what do you call it? Well, what's her name? Carol Burnett, hilarious.
She was underrated.
Although to be fair, I did have a crush on her when I was younger.
Yeah.
I did. I'm saying.
Well, I mean, back then she was nice.
Well, she was also funny, and I appreciate that. I'm just saying, I do.
Funny enough to just
Cut it out, man. Anyway, but I'm saying, like, it does happen, but for the most part, it's a very similar thing that happens with some women. I can't say all, but some women, because of the way that society coddles them. Coddles them. They don't really experience life properly, so they're always entitled. So they think that if they just become a comedian, that they're going to be funny because they tell jokes, but it's all about timing and repetition and redundancy and repetition. So the thing about it, though, that was silly. No, but seriously though, but the thing about it though is that there are certain things that you actually have to do in order to be funny, but it's like, but I think one of the things you have to have is a tremendous amount of pain that you hold in and then you let out through your jokes.
I did it. I think that's why everyone keeps saying I should be a comedian.
I'm saying, I mean, those are I'm saying those are the
Like,
things that
'cause
tend to make comedians.
A lot of y'all gotta understand something. I realized a lot about myself when I started talking to my father more. Cause me and my father was always been in my life,
Mhm.
but I fucked up the relationship. It was my fault.
Did you though?
I look back at it, it was my fault.
I mean, as it is in most cases, it does take two to tango. So,
Yes, it does, but
I mean,
but you gotta understand. I was raised by a man who put an emphasis on accountability and shit, and holding yourself accountable.
oh, that's
So I took that to heart when he told me that. So when I look back at our relationship, of course he did some things wrong,
right.
but I feel like everything he did wrong was a reaction to everything that I was doing. So that's why I point the finger at me before I point the finger at him.
Well, actually, as it is, if you do point the finger at yourself, it makes it a lot easier to change, even if it's not your fault.
Right.
Because you'll be doing things proactively to, well, so if you know that every time you go into a room that someone's going to punch you in the face, you have a few choices. You could either not go into that room, which means you can go anywhere else, Or you could throw a flashbang in there first, and when they're blinded, you could tape them up, and then you can go in that room without getting punched in the face. But those are things you have to do ahead of time after the first time you feel it.
You have several options.
I'm saying a bunch, But the thing is, because of the fact that all I know is, even if something is not my fault, if I take the responsibility that it is my fault, or I find a way to make it so it would be my fault, I can make it so it never happens again. You understand?
Yeah, I'm guilty of that.
Well, I'm saying, because like if I knew that for instance, when I was younger, some people would say that I was extremely annoying, and I get that. I mean, looking back, and it's like, yeah, I get it. But at the same time, the main reason why I was that way was because even when I was doing things that I wasn't doing that I wouldn't think that would be annoying, people would still call me that. It's like, all right, cool. I got you. I understand what my role is. It's to be annoying. I'm saying, I gave them what they wanted.
That was annoying just to hear.
True. Maybe. But I'm saying, like, I gave my customers what they wanted, and they kept receiving it until I said, you know what?
Pause.
I'm saying, you know what? I don't really like the fact that no one likes me, so I'm going to change my behavior. Guess what?
Change your behavior.
Yeah, change my behavior, and I didn't have the same, people, oh no, this guy's coming around. Oh no, look, I changed myself, and guess what happened? I got change in reality. I'm saying, like, that's the minimum, the very bare minimum. If you are the type of person where every time you get into a relationship, you get the same results, it's probably you doing it. I'm just saying. At the very minimum, if all you do is say, okay, I'm the reason why this keeps happening, because the thing is, if you've been in like 5 or 6 relationships and each one of the guys or girls is a jerk, asshole, bad boy, whatever you want to call them,
right,
and you know that they're the type of guy that you're going to go for, then that's kind of on you, because you go for that type of guy who treats you that way. And you're okay with it, and they don't care. Because, look, the type of guy that, I can't say most women go for, but the type of guy that some women go for is the type of guy that has a lot of options, and if they don't act right, they will go with somebody else. But the thing is, they know that about the person before they get with them, but it's like, and the thing is, the guys that would definitely, be with the person, treat them exactly the way they want to be treated, they're not interested in them. So when a girl or a lady comes up and says, oh, these people were treating me like crap. And it's like, well, you chose to be around the person who treated you that way. You literally could have left. And it's not victim blaming, because the thing is, why would you consider yourself to be a victim in a situation where you're causing it? If you're a victim, it's because you're causing yourself to be a victim. Do the things that are necessary to make it so that no longer happens. And the thing is, the only people that would cry about me saying that would be people who don't want to change and want to continue being a victim.
Now,
I'm saying,
I'm going to answer all of that.
Okay.
Now, back to, I'm going to start with the relationship with my father and the pointing finger.
Okay.
So, everything you said, that's what I did.
Mm-hmm.
I found a way to make it my fault.
Mm-hmm.
And I took responsibility for it.
Okay.
And henceforth, I changed.
Right. Because the thing is, what I've noticed is, even if you think that it was all you, it could have been 99% him, but at the same time, if you want to interact with him, you'll know what his triggers would be, and you know what your triggers are.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the most difficult things that most humans have a hard time doing is to be meta on themselves.
Like, for instance, I give my dad an out sometimes. Because I was like, you got to think about it. When I popped up in this world,
okay,
in 86, he was only 21 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I'm his first kid. He didn't know what the fuck you do. So it was a lot of lessons to be learned with the both of us. Because this is a man I didn't see for the first 4 years of my life. Because he was in active duty,
right,
which I get.
Mm-hmm.
So I meet this man for the first time because my mom kept his memory alive. She let me know every day that that's my dad. That's the type of brother that he is. My mother never shamed him. But I get why.
It's impressive.
But I get as I got older, I understood my dad better because it's who I became now.
Mhm.
Because, for instance, my dad was allergic to something that he didn't know he was allergic to.
Mhm.
So he was about to go to sleep, but his throat started to swell up and close on him. He had enough energy to go to call the ambulance. So he called my brother, and my brother tell me, "Yo, Pop's in the hospital."
Hmm.
So we go there. This man is literally on his deathbed cracking jokes.
Okay.
That's only example number 2. The reason I'm starting with the example 2 because example 1 is something else. Example 1 is something else.
Okay.
Example number 3. My dad gets into a nasty motorcycle accident. If you seen the footage, even the doctor was like, "How the fuck did he survive this?"
Hmm.
So my dad had 90% burns from his face to his feet.
Wow.
And this is 2 years ago, so he's still like really healing.
Mhm.
Cracking jokes like usual.
Hmm.
Shit ain't even happened. And then, example 1. His ex-wife tried to accuse me of doing something egregious
Mhm.
that involved children. At that time, I was probably 20, 19,
How is she still breathing air?
because of my father.
Hmm.
My father, he could have easily went off, found a location, and finished that story. You know what he did? He remained stoic. This is the first time I've ever seen my dad smile in the face of a disaster. And that's who I am now.
Hmm.
I'm smiling in the face of disaster because off camera I can tell you everything that's going on with me.
Mhm.
It's a fucking sad story. But when I saw my dad, and I'm like, damn, this is the man that my mama was telling me about. I finally met him.
Hmm.
And of course, I had to go through all that uncomfortable shit. And it's crazy because 2 things saved me. 1, my dad.
Okay.
2, the little girl that she accused me of, my sister, which is my younger sister, she defended me. She defended me. Even the social worker that popped up was like, he said, "Well, 1, your dad had plenty of evidence to prove that none of this ever happened, and then 2, we asked the little girl. She defended you.
Hmm.
She defended me. She said, my brother never did that. I love my brother. She said nothing but great things. So in my head, I want to slide the bitch. Like, this is my kill. I'm sorry, Dad, but I gotta take this one away from you. This is my kill. But going back to pointing the finger at yourself, I understood my dad at that moment. I'm like, damn, I get it now. Now, for the relationship standpoint, for the people that women choose, yeah, you gotta point the finger at yourself. Cause it's just like uh the second definition to insanity. Doing the same thing expecting different results.
Mhm.
It's the second definition to insanity. You're fucking insane. I've had women in my life that I'm like, you know what, I'm good on you. There's a chick to this day that wants to find a guy that's a bad boy but has my personality. You will never find that. And I keep like, for instance, I got a friend, she likes eye candy. I said, if you want eye candy, don't expect for you to be the only one.
Pretty much, because other people like eye candy too.
Because when you're That's why it's what we call a pretty privilege.
Mm-hmm.
When you're pretty, when you're attractive, you think you don't need anything else. You're just pretty. So you don't have notice that the most beautiful people don't have personalities.
Tend not to. What, and that's where I was going with, like, most women, even if they don't actually have pretty privilege, have female privilege because they're treated better specifically and only because they're women.
Right.
Now, the thing about that is that if they, at some point, they're going to wind up becoming entitled, and that's when a lot of issues happen, where there was this lady who dressed up as a man because she thought the reason why people weren't laughing at her is because she was a woman. And then she dressed up as a man, and they were even less likely to laugh at her.
Wow.
And she was getting like really, freaked out about it. Like, oh my God. And it's like, yeah, we told you you weren't funny originally. Create better, material. Right. But she thought the reason why is because,
I'm a female.
Right. Because she bought into the thing as like, oh, well, if a guy says that female comedians aren't funny, they're going off of their experience of experiencing female comedians. Now, there are female comedians that I find hilarious. Although at the same time, it's not a very, I don't know. It's like I can't put my finger on specifically what it is, but there is something about the delivery, the humor that they put out there that's not the same as whatever a guy would do, which is odd because literally all they'd have to do is not necessarily copy the words that are said, but the mannerisms and such, because those are part of it, right? But what I'm trying to figure out is, why is it that there are some comedians that are hilarious, like Roseanne Barr, she's hilarious.
Right.
I mean, but at the same time, some people would probably say, well, the reason why she's hilarious is because she was, overweight when she was younger, so she had to develop a personality. I'm saying. Like, and the thing is, I've noticed that I can't be the only person who's noticed that while look, there's been plenty of things, but whenever, me personally, I found like maybe a handful of comedians that were female that were actually funny in a way that made me laugh uncontrollably. I'm saying.
Right. No.
But men, on the other hand, I've seen that's just, it's like, in order to be funny as a female, you don't have to be exceptionally funny. You just have to be funny.
You just have to be funny.
So it's not that I'm saying that there aren't any female comedians, but I'm saying I'm noticing what's out there, and I'm waiting for a situation to laugh, and it just doesn't happen the same as when I tend to watch guys do it. I don't understand what the difference is specifically. And you could say, oh, well, you're wrong. It's like, well, perhaps. But at the same time, when I observe comedy, I'm not looking, it's like, oh, is it a guy or a girl? No. I'm looking for something to make me laugh. And if it makes me laugh, it's funny.
Right.
If it doesn't make me laugh, it's not funny. It's pretty much that simple. And the thing is, you have to remember, like I said, my standards for comedy, my standard for comedy is apparently really low. And even then, I haven't really been able to find a large portion of women that are funny, like overall. And the thing is, in most cases, somebody's going to throw out things like, okay, that was kind of funny there. Okay, that was kind of funny. Versus somebody like Richard Pryor or Eddie Murphy or, almost like a bunch of those, Dave Chappelle. Like, they put out stuff and it's funny. Like, the entire set is hilarious. Whereas with
George Carlin.
He has some pretty good stuff.
R.I.P.
Yeah. But they would put out stuff that was funny overall, but it's like, I don't know, man. It's like, it's not.
Yeah, to get on that subject. Hey, y'all, I know y'all was looking at me looking through my phone, but I was actually looking for something, because when you brought up comedians, this is one of the subjects I want to talk about. Matt Rife.
Mm-hmm.
He got in trouble for saying that
he's not super funny either.
He's not really that.
He does give a bunch of giggles, though, and I do appreciate that.
Yeah, he gets a lot of giggles.
But he's not super funny to me.
But at the same time, he came out with a special.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And he said that this special is more for the guys.
Okay.
Well, a lot of women like him, but they like him because he's eye candy.
Yeah, the same reason why most people like some female comedians.
Right, eye candy.
Yeah.
So
For instance,
he opens
go ahead,
up.
go ahead, go ahead. No, go ahead.
He opens up the special with a domestic violence joke,
Okay.
and of course, women got mad. Here's what I call hypocrite. A lot of you bitches, and I'm only saying bitches because I don't know you personally.
We don't have.
What?
Go ahead.
I call men bitches too that I don't know personally.
Okay, go ahead.
All you bitches that sit here and get mad at domestic violence jokes, for the bitches that have a following, a lot of your jokes are based off domestic violence against men. How many times have we had to see you on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube beating the shit out of a man because of something you didn't like what he said? A lot of your comedy routines is based off domestic violence.
Right. So, I mean, but inherently, wouldn't that mean that women are inherently not very intelligent?
That's
Because you did know that when you hit the person that they were 2 to 3 times stronger than you. That's not bright. It's not.
and I don't even know why people get mad at domestic violence jokes. You haven't heard a bad domestic violence joke. Speaking of which, what did Tina Turner tell Rihanna when she asked for advice?
Duck?
Beats the hell out of me.
Oh.
Now that is a bad domestic violence joke.
We are looking for sponsorship. If you like to sponsor us, please contact Dontavius at judgmentpod444@gmail.com. Dontavius?
Almost 30 minutes. Almost. Damn. Shit. What?
Like for instance, I watched the majority of Two Broke Girls, the TV show. And the humor was okay, but I watched it because Kat
Dennings is so fucking...
Yeah,
Man.
that's why. And the thing is, I don't even remember what no offense, I don't necessarily remember what the other lady's name was, and she's actually very pretty, but I like Kat Dennings. So I watched it for Kat Dennings. Literally, the reason why I watched the show wasn't necessarily because it was funny, but because she was on the show.
There's only one person in the world that has the nickname Cat and is absolutely hideous. It's Caitlyn Jenner.
Ah.
She looks like a man in the face.
Probably a few other. Anyway, so like I was saying though,
Like something's real
Like-
manly about Caitlyn.
oh my goodness. But listen,
Give me
so
off man vibes.
right. But listen though, it's like there are a lot of shows. Like for instance, while I know it probably would never happen,
Like people
If
watch
you-
Keeping Up with the Kardashians because they all hot.
yeah.
I can literally watch.
I mean that show is not
I
good.
can literally watch that show on mute and I'm good.
Yeah. Now the thing is, like, so okay, because of the fact that, and people know this, and you want to pretend that's not the case, but there are a lot of shows that men watch because the women are attractive. Now, at minimum, you'd want to have attractive people in general. Like if you have attractive guys and attractive women, that alone could get people watching. Like, do you remember the Bionic Woman, the most recent one?
Yeah.
Like I was watching that, and the main character, she was actually rather attractive. And even though that was the case, she was a horrible actress. The other person they had in the show,
It's kind of like
Katie
how Pam
Sackhoff.
Anderson was in the 90s. Hot as fuck, but was a horrible actress.
I mean, look, she was okay for what she did, but she wasn't really in, like, the stuff she was in, she did well in, but it wasn't necessarily Oscar winning either. Like VIP, I literally only watched that because the women were hot. I do like action also, but like,
Titty action.
oh my gosh. What I'm saying is, though, I literally watched that show because the women were hot and also like action. I'm just saying.
Titty action.
Stop at you. But what I'm saying is, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of shows like that. Baywatch, at minimum, was like that because most likely men would watch that show because the women were hot. Now the thing is, I wonder if like the people who make TV shows and such are aware of this. They have to be aware of this. I've been watching. It's like, look, there was one show I was watching, and I think it was Degrassi, and there was this one girl in there, and it's like, she is not attractive in any manner. And people would say, oh, well, she was a teenager. It's like, so you're saying that you can't be ugly if you're a teenager? Like, I'm a little confused here. Like, and the thing
Back in my teenage years, shit, you was ugly in a heartbeat to a lot of people.
right. But what I'm getting at, though, is that I'm not saying that I would want to have, relations with anybody on that show. What I'm saying is there's a difference between, it's just like when you're in school. When you were in school, you may not have known what the right answer was, but you knew if it was a wrong answer because they would put an X there. Mm-hmm. Basically, her face was a huge X. And I'm just trying to figure out, like, not only was she the most popular person in school, she was a mean girl, and she was unattractive. Like, why would anybody put up with that from an unattractive person?
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, I don't remember the whole thing, but I'm looking at this like, man, she is so unattractive. No offense to the actual person who did it, because she's probably a great person, but the person that they picked, it was almost like they made it too easy for her to be not liked. Now, the thing is, she actually should have been a good person in that show to balance that out. Like, it's okay. Well, it's not okay, but it's understandable if an attractive person was in the same shoes she was in, like in Mean Girls.
Right.
I'm saying.
Because Lizzie Lohan was hot.
Yes.
Lizzie Lohan still is a little bit cute, even now. I'm glad she's doing better with her life.
Yes. Actually, yes.
Yeah, I'm glad she's doing better with her life. Shouts out. Round of applause for Lizzie. No, but yeah, that's the part about pretty privilege.
If you have it, you don't notice that you have it.
A lot of people don't understand, because when you're pretty, what you got in looks, you lack in character development.
Normally. So.
Because it's very rare where you see a chick that's like a 8 or a 9, but you can actually conversate with her about random subjects, and it's a great conversation. Mm-hmm. She doesn't sound like no fucking klutz.
And the thing is, I know a bunch of them. A bunch of those types of women are on my or friends on my Facebook.
Like,
but I'm saying, I get it. I understand that whole thing. Go ahead.
Like for instance, I have an open-ended crush because she doesn't know I have a crush on her. I have a crush on this chick. I ain't gonna say her name, but she's attractive. Mm-hmm. She has a kid, which I don't mind. But she knows sports, and she's like good with the guys. I like a chick who can be good with the guys without being a whore. Like, you're only good with the guys because you get their dicks hard.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But when you're good with the guys where they can sit here and talk sports with you and be like, oh, damn, she knows some shit. Mm-hmm. And is able to crack jokes with you and able to be themselves. When I'm comfortable with a female where I can be me, because I'm always me, but sometimes I hold back a little because I don't even know what type of time she's on. But I'm always me.
Yeah, that's a lot of wasted energy.
Yeah,
never hold back.
Oh, we know you. You always going full throttle.
Mm-hmm. So it's easier that way. It's a lot more efficient.
And if it works for you, it works for you. Now, there are times where went full throttle, and it didn't work for me.
You got to keep going. See, that's the thing. You went full throttle, and then you stop. No, you have to keep going.
No, I kept going.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Keep going after that.
No, I can't keep.
See, and that's why you fail.
It's like sex. After the first one, I'm like, all right, it's nap time. I don't want to keep going. I need a juice break. Need a nap. Like, you want to keep going.
Yeah.
She's probably tired, but you want.
But she ain't got to do nothing.
Round of applause. For selfishness.
What?
I got this later.
That's horrible.
Just enjoy the ride.
Right. I have enough energy for both of us. It's fine.
So she just go, wee.
Right.
Wee.
Mm.
Round of applause.
Mm.
I respect that. I respect that.
I'm saying. I got enough energy for both of us.
Man. Good, yeah. I gotta take some pointers from you. Just lay there. I got enough energy for the
Right.
both of us. And I think a lot of chicks would appreciate that. It's amazing how much shit women talk, but sexually they're lazier than us.
Mm.
Like, how the hell you can sit here and yell at me for 45 minutes, but you can only suck my dick for 3?
Mm.
The math ain't math. The math ain't math. You either cut down your argument or increase your dick sucking.
Right. We are looking for sponsorship. If you'd like to sponsor us, please contact Dontavius at judgmentpod444@gmail.com. Dontavius?
Surprise, motherfucker.
This is all wrong.
Put your pussy lips on live, I'll give you $1,000.
Yeah, you gotta cut one of those things out.
Right.
Either argue with me less or suck my dick more. Cause there's no way you can sit here and argue with me and bring up old shit, but then you forget that you promised me some sucky if
Right.
I wash the dishes for you.
Mm.
Like, for real. Oh, you forget then,
Mm.
but you remember what I did back in 2002 at 3:00 p.m. Oh no, you remember that, but you forgot that when I bought you that outfit, you said you was gonna do that thing you like. Now all of a sudden you tired. No.
Oh, did you hear about Tia Mowry? She broke up with her husband. Now, was he cheating on her? Is that what happened?
Nah.
Okay, I was just want to make
She
sure.
wanted to graduate and realize her degree ain't worth shit.
Yeah.
So she's going back to school.
Yeah. So she thought that she wasn't happy with who she was happy with. She went out into the world, found out that nobody wants to date. Now, the thing is, she's an attractive lady. She's nowhere near ugly. Right? But.
Nobody's going to commit to her.
Right. Like.
Nowadays, these guys just want to clap Tia Mowry just for the sake they saying they clap Tia Mowry.
Because she's a pleasant looking. She's pretty.
You were with the guy that knew you before you was Tia Mowry.
Mm-hmm. Treated you well.
And
now that you found out that no one else is willing to do what you thought everybody. No.
And everybody thought he moved on because they said they seen him with a chick. He looked happy.
You know what? Look, I said that hopefully, like, because I saw a thing where it said that they're working things out. And I'm saying, like, look, apparently she did learn a valuable lesson, and hopefully he did too, because he would have to be somewhat of an idiot to get back with her. There's no way that he would be able to trust her again. They were doing well, and she broke up with him. I mean,
and that's what a lot of people don't get with this whole new movement of shit. This whole new movement is basically women allowing their single friends to give them advice.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, I don't know if the audience members saw it. Mia Khalifa was trying to give relationship advice.
Don't
This
take
girl
don't
has
take advantage of her. I mean, don't take advice from her.
Mia Khalifa, she's a corn star. She's been through plenty of Richard conventions.
No, it's the other way around.
Well, she's ran through a lot of Richards.
On camera.
On camera. She's famously known for giving somebody Lewinsky love with a hijab on.
She got death threats because of that, apparently.
And they should. But that's a disrespect to you. That's a disrespect to your country, and the people who shot that should be ashamed of themselves, and she should be ashamed of herself for doing it.
Right. The thing is, though, she also didn't have. Man, look, she could say all this stuff. One, she chose to get into that particular industry. It's not like you can't. Like, okay.
She was saying men are the easiest to get. And she said there isn't a man.
Yeah, but not for a relationship for you.
She said there isn't a man that she didn't want that she couldn't have.
So, and when she says want, she meant have sex with. She didn't mean get into a relationship with.
He damn sure ain't keep you.
No. Like, and I think there were like 2 or 3.
Because when a man looks at your Richard Pryors, and you have an extended list of Richard Pryors, for those of you that are confused with the whole Richard Pryor reference, Richard nickname is Dick. So instead of saying Dick, I said I'll look at your Richard Pryors. Round of applause for Kevin.
How dare you?
What? You gotta look at their Richard Pryors.
You don't explain the joke.
I know.
Don't do it.
But you have to.
You just called our audience idiots.
I didn't say they were idiots. But a lot of them probably didn't catch on.
You just did it again.
That's what she said.
You son.
But like I said, when you look at their Richard Pryors, and it's a long list of Richards, you got a lot of Richard in your diet.
Right. Well, I guess what I'm
You're
getting
not
at.
afraid of protein.
Listen though. The thing is,
I take protein shakes daily.
And I'm not
Mia.
Look,
We know.
look. I don't know exactly how many women, females that we have as far as in our audience. I will say this.
If y'all
A
spend,
man
if women spend an hour a day listening to us, I commend you. Round of applause to y'all.
Yeah.
If you got a man in your life, show him this podcast and look at him and say, "This is why you should eat my ass." Let's see if it works.
We are looking for sponsorship. If you like to sponsor us, please contact Dontavius at judgmentpod444@gmail.com. Dontavius?
Ass eating.
Surprise, motherfucker.
So what I'm going to tell you this. The majority of men most likely, no matter who they are, most likely want to have sex with you.
Facts. And we don't
That's
even
the
have to
nature.
like you, really.
We don't at all. But it's a good chance that if there is a guy in the room, he probably wants to have sex with you. And if you're friends with a guy and he's in the quote unquote friend zone, he definitely wants to have sex with you.
Right.
Unless he's gay.
Yeah.
In which case he still may want to have sex with you. He might be bi.
Right.
I have no idea. But what I will say this, I will say this. Not everyone wants to have a relationship with you.
Facts.
But the majority of men do want to have sex with you. Now, what she said on that level is mostly true. She probably can have sex with most guys. But how many of those same guys want to have a relationship with her? Look,
I tell women all the time, It's easy to get a guy dick hard and get him to fuck you. The trick is getting him to stay.
Yes. Like
Like,
go ahead.
after the nut is bust and that post nut clarity kicks in, is he going to be convinced that, hey, I made the right decision tonight? Or B, I made the right decision tonight, but this is the only time I'm going to make this
Right.
decision.
So so a lot of times there are women who will say, "Oh, no, he just used me." It's like, well,
You
that
use them too.
well, yeah. But I mean, I just want to say this. So, in a lot of times, in a lot of those cases, not all of them, but a lot of them, the woman will be doing whatever she's doing, whatever that is. Women know what they do, but whatever that is. And then at some point, they cross a line with the guy, and the guy's like, "Nah, I'm good." That was it. I mean, whatever it is. And the thing is, don't act like women don't do that exact same thing.
What are the perfect,
One thing somebody does, one, two, however it goes, like after a certain point, nope, done.
the purpose of a one night stand is basically a man and a woman using each other. I'm drunk, you're drunk. We're both horny, and you somehow look good enough after these liquor shots that I want to fornicate with you. That could be the other. That could go both ways.
Yeah.
I've definitely looked like Morris Chestnut to a few bitches after some drinks.
How much were they drinking?
They were drinking a lot.
Man, they might not want to get their liver checked.
I know, right? Because I see me, I'm like, shit.
Right.
I drank the whole bottle too.
Damn.
But anyway,
There's a joke in there somewhere, but go ahead.
I know, right? I just don't know where to laugh. Anyway,
But I'm just
I
saying.
go from Biggie to Morris Chestnut. I don't know.
Right. But listen,
But it
listen,
happens.
listen though. Like women, and I will say this, most, like I said, and I'll say it again, most men want to have sex with you. You don't really have to do very much for that.
You really don't.
You really don't. If you went up to 100 men, 90 or more will most likely say yes if you ask them to have sex with you.
90 would be the minimum. 95
Now the thing is, obviously,
would be the maximum.
if someone has a girlfriend, or if they're
That
homosexual,
doesn't stop a lot of men.
But if
It's
they're
all
there,
about opportunity.
If they're there,
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But if you ask most guys by themselves, would you like to have sex with me? They'll probably say yes. Now, would they do it? That's something totally different. But
I knew niggas that'll sit here and go that'll sit here and pull chicks in their girlfriend car.
well, that's disturbing.
Well,
I don't appreciate that's extremely disrespectful.
yeah, I know a few people that do that. They'll
That's
sit
not-
here and cheat on the fuck a bitch,
Nah,
go to another chick crib in their girlfriend car.
that's not good. I don't appreciate that. But I'm just saying, like, if you want a guy to want to have a relationship with you, you have to give them something other than sex. That's it. Now, the thing is, that may be one of the prerequisites, but it can't just be that.
I have better relationships with the women I didn't have sex with than the ones I did. Like, I fucked a few of them, and we're alright, but we don't really talk like that. But then they're the ones I haven't even so much as seen an areola, and we're the best of friends.
Right.
Now, there's one good friend that I told her flat out. You might as well tattoo your name on my dick, because once I'm in you, I ain't going nowhere.
Right.
There's only one chick I would like willing to say, you know what, I'm yours.
So I take it that you want her more than she wants you.
Well, kind of.
That's not a healthy relationship. You need to find someone who cares about you as much as you care about them.
No, she cares. She definitely cares about me.
Dude. No, seriously.
I don't. It's crazy.
Because, I mean, okay, well, look,
Here's the thing.
Stop. You're not in a relationship. She cares, but she doesn't care enough. No offense. She doesn't care enough to be in a relationship with you. That's not a healthy relationship. You need to find somebody to be with who treats you the same way that who want to treat you the same way that you want to treat them.
Let me say it like this. She definitely cares, but she also understands we're in two different states right now. But I'm telling you, when I'm around her, it's a different story.
Okay.
When I'm around her,
well then okay, look, there's only so many solutions. Either you go to her, she goes to you, you meet somewhere in the middle, or you find somebody who is willing to be. I'm just saying, like,
of course I'm gonna meet her in the middle. That's where her vagina is.
oh my gosh, that's not the middle. It's like middle would be like where her navel is.
Well, that's where I'm gonna be.
Womp womp.
I'll be at her vagina, but touching her navel.
That's not.
This is gonna be an awesome 8 minutes for her.
Oh my goodness.
At least I said 8 minutes.
You better make it count.
Yeah, gotta make it count. Let's not pop a blue chew, then we gonna be here for a while.
Right.
No, I told you I popped a blue chew on accident.
How did you do that on accident?
I was trying to find my Tylenol PMs, and that pill is blue and red, but it was mad dark, and I was dumb high.
You don't go after medicine in the dark.
And I was high.
And high. I mean, it's like what, one or the other, but definitely never both.
Definitely never both, but it was both. So I'm sitting here. I'm like, damn, I got a headache like a motherfucker, and I need to get some sleep.
Mm.
So I reach up in here, and I grab one, pop two of them bitches. I popped one. And I'm like, shit, now I can go to sleep. I'm laying down. And 15 minutes into it, all of a sudden, Mario done got hooked to a mushroom.
Right. Right.
And I'm sitting here like, wait a minute.
Mm.
This ain't Tylenol.
Right.
And then, I summon my lights.
Right.
I look around. I'm like, what the fuck did I just take? And I see a Blue Chew wrapper.
Oh, no. A wrap? How is it? No. Right. No, what I'm saying is if it was wrapped up, why would you, like, are they both in foil packs?
Yeah.
Oh, so you have to rip it open and then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see
Because, hold up. It was in this.
How? Wait, so you're saying your
Tylenol
was also in that?
No, the way it was already opened at the time. So I'm reaching for something.
I see.
I didn't even feel the if I would have felt this part right here, I would have knew what it was. But instead, I reach in and I pull out a packet, and I'm like, okay, I got what I need. So I take it, and then I'm like, man. And it's like I'm trying to sleep, but the only thing I'm thinking about is being in some guts. I'm like, why the fuck am I having wet? Oh.
Yep.
Thank God it wasn't November, because it would have fucked it up.
Right.
This is early October. So, I spent the next several hours going through my porn catalog because it's 1 o'clock in the morning. All my booty calls are asleep. All 3 of them. They sleep.
Did you call them?
I text.
Right.
I was like, yo, you up? I hit her with one of those. No response. So I get her, I was like, you up? She hits me back. She says, I'm up for now, but it's going to be a long night. I'm sleepy. She said, I got to get up at 5. I'm like, oh, damn. So hit text the third. You up? You know what she said? She says, no, Donnie, I'm not sucking your dick tonight. I said, how you know I wanted that? She says, Donnie, it's 1:30. I already know what you owe. I said, well, I took a Blue Chew, and she sent me like the face palm emojis, and she says, "Donnie, how much weed did you smoke?" I said, "I smoked 4 blunts." She says, "Were they back to back?" I said, "Yeah."
No, they were simultaneous. Get out.
And she was like, "Donnie, you know what? I'm gonna help you out, but I'm not coming over there." I said, "I'll take it." So she sent me a few attachments. She got me right. Round of applause to her.
So she sent you a care package.
Yes,
Interesting.
sent me a care package. I'm like,
Because she cared about your package.
that too. And her titties look real good when she's sleepy.
Okay.
Sleepy titties look good.
What the?
You ever seen some tired titties?
We are looking for sponsorship. If you'd like to sponsor us, please contact Dontavius at judgmentpod444@gmail.com. Dontavius?
Yeah, I appreciate her. Like, she sent me a few attachments. I was like, thanks. For some reason, I get off better to women I know than the women I don't know.
Well, sounds like a personal problem to me.
Not a personal problem. It's just I like personal titties.
Right.
Like, it's easy to go on Pornhub and see some great tits and be like, hey, hey, grab the jerkets. And get the jerket. But no. When you know her, you understand the work you put in to to see that. Like, yo, I had a lot of conversations with you. I heard a lot about your problems. And to me, this is a reward. You are rewarding me by giving me the privilege of seeing your areola cul-de-sac. So, I'm going to appreciate this for at least the next 15 minutes.
Right.
And after I wash my hands and prepare for my slumber, I'm going to send you a text message saying, thank you. I needed that. And that's what she did for me. Round of applause for her. Yeah. I got this one friend. Sometimes I ask to see her titties just to see the facial expression. Like, she has great facial expressions with showing her tits. There's this one picture she took of her tits, but her facial expression looked like she got caught by her mom and there was a chocolate flying there. Yeah, like that. She looked like she was about to get hit with a chocolate mid-titty picture and took the picture. I spent at least 10 minutes laughing at that. There was another titty picture she sent me where it looked like she was giving a speech and her titty just randomly popped out mid-speech and she just looking at it like... The shit is hilarious. She takes the best titty pictures ever. Round of applause for her. Yeah, gotta love her. But yeah, okay. Let's get serious for a little bit. Enough of the jokes. Unless you're the Biden administration.
Damn, I don't even know.
How dare you?
Although, actually, like, speaking of them, did you hear about the new stuff they were talking about on about the T files, X file? Well,
It's called the T
wait a
files.
second. Now it's anyway. Go ahead.
But you get what
Yeah.
you get what I'm about to get into, right?
Mm-hmm, yep.
So, YouTube. Remember that intro? Go fuck yourself.
Mhm.
So, turns out YouTube was purposely blocking people talking about the coof,
Mm-hmm.
as
The jab.
the quartering would call it,
Mhm.
the coof, the jab, spreading false information because the Joe Biden administration was pretty much bribing them not to do it. Now, here's the problem I have with that. Well, my friend over here spoke on what he did to keep himself healthy and protect himself from the coof,
Which apparently also actually worked. Go ahead.
which, yeah, when he said that, you took down our episode saying that we were spreading misinformation. Only for me to find out that you guys were doing that because you had jump off Joe Biden's dick in your mouth. And I say that very disrespectfully. Because one thing I don't respect is a kiss ass. Because now you're violating our First Amendment right.
Pretty much. And the thing is, people would say, "Oh, it's not the First Amendment because it's not the government blocking your voice," and yet that's literally what they were doing. Because they'll say, "Oh, it was a personal company." Yeah, but if the personal company is told by the government to not allow you to say stuff, that's a violation of the First Amendment.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to say about that. But
So yeah. So not the X Files. Well, technically it's X
Right.
now.
so that's where I was going. Like,
Technically,
wait a
it's-
second. Yeah.
Technically, it's the X Files,
Mhm.
which I think Elon Musk watched the Quartering, and that's why he did that.
Right.
Because if you watch the Quartering, and his introduction to the T Files was the X Files intro. So now that he changed it to X, technically, it's the X Files.
Well, listen though, but I don't think he did it because of that. But I will say,
I think he watched the Quartering though.
well, it's possible. But what I'm saying is, years ago, before PayPal came out, it was called X.com.
Oh, okay.
And then it became PayPal. I remember because I signed up for X.com. And it became PayPal later on.
Oh, okay. The only X I signed up for was X Videos. Round of applause. That's moonlighting. It is. It's moonlighting.
The TV show from the 80s?
No. Moonlighting when you go from one company to the rival company.
Ah.
I said X Videos. You played Pornhub. That's moonlighting. I subscribe to X Videos. Do I have a Pornhub subscription?
You'll watch whatever you're able to see.
What
You don't care what the freaking.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. When I'm in the mood to fat, whatever letter I touch first is the site I'm going
Right.
on. And so if it's X, then it better be the X videos, XXV videos, or X hamster. Either one of those is gonna pop up. First one that pop up is where I'm going, and I'm going to where the titties are at. If I hit P, it's gonna be Pornhub. If I hit any other letter, it's a couple of them that start with different letters, but I don't really want to fuck with those letters. So it's either X or it's P. Either way. Whenever I'm chilling, I'm like, you know what? I need to create some melatonin for myself.
That's not how. That's not how you.
Well, I don't know any other way. And plus,
You
this
don't
way
know
is-
that way either.
This way is fine.
Don't.
Come on now, a fat nap is great.
Yeah, but it's not melo. Nah, it's fine. It's fine.
I know, Fitz. I know. I know. Everybody, I grew up around too many people in the medical field not to know that. But let me cook. Can I cook? Please. I know adobo seasoning don't go with this right now, but I just want to use it. Let me cook. So, when I want to get a couple hours of rest and I want to activate the signal for my melatonin to kick in, say, hey, Donnie, you sleepy? I know. I hit a letter. Where it pop up on? You know what I want. See them titties. Choky chicken. Wash thy hands. Take a good nap. It's all good. Take a nap.
Right.
Wake up feeling refreshed and probably play some video games. But come on now. What? Life. What else we was gonna talk about? Cause I'm sick of YouTube. I ain't gonna even hold you. The fact that they were behind that and the Biden administration, I'm glad I didn't vote for him the first time. And I'm damn sure not voting for him now.
Who would be insane enough to want to vote for that person who thinks he's doing an actual good job? The thing is, look, it's one thing if you don't want to vote for Trump. I'm saying that's fair.
That's fair.
But why would you go out of your way to vote for Biden? Like inflation, don't say he has nothing to do with that. Obviously he does.
Yes,
because somehow we have all these people coming in from the southern border, which is making us use more money, which we apparently don't have access to. But then you're going to wind up sending a crazy amount of money overseas to fund various wars. But somehow there are people who are homeless here. The thing is, people say, "Oh, so we shouldn't help them." That's not what I'm saying. And actually, that may or may not be the answer.
In all honesty, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think they should. And here's why. The same money that you use to help Ukraine,
mm-hmm.
the same money that you use to help Israel,
Mm-hmm.
could have been the money you used to help us because we were in dire need way before them.
No,
Our businesses.
That's literally where I was going. Like how are you gonna have money available to do stuff with when we were asking for money for various things? It's like, oh no, we can't do it. We don't have enough money.
Businesses.
Magically, you have money to give them, but you don't have enough money to give the people who actually need it in our country. You do understand that the money that's going over to them is coming from the taxpayers. So that's actually our money that should be going towards things to help our country.
We're paying for a war that we barely know about.
That we have.
And then we got to sit here and listen to all these Jews sit here and tell us they're basically telling us to fall in line and don't say anything bad about them.
Stop doing bad stuff.
Well, exactly.
Like if a certain
we're supposed to forget slavery, but we supposed to remember you for everything that's happened to you, right? That's what it is. That's what it is. Like I remember when Julian Edelman told Deshaun Jackson to go to the Jewish museum to learn his history about Jews. Julian Edelman, what the fuck do you know about blacks? In your Jewish museum, does it say that you helped fund the slave trade? I just want to know, does it say that in your museum?
Because guess what?
Because I'm pretty sure it says it in ours. So, what are we talking about? Educate yourself about us. You're part of the reason. You're part of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with generational wealth. There's nothing wrong with doing what y'all did to take care of y'all families. You're smart.
No, it's actually
You're
quite
smart.
It's quite
Right.
awesome actually. Like more people should pay attention to the way that people of the Jewish faith handle their money. It's actually, I mean, it's
And
extremely simple.
It's one of the
and it works.
smartest.
Yeah,
It's one of the smartest systems I've ever seen.
yeah. And the
develop.
thing is, if you're not doing it, you also probably aren't that smart.
Right. So I give them credit for that.
Yeah.
But what I don't like is how you think because of your little social status, you're better than everybody else. When this is why the world treats you the way that they treat you. Think about it. All it takes is one thing for the whole world to just say fuck you. For instance, haven't you learned from the Chinese people not to do that? Haven't you learned from Arabs not to do that? For years, they thought they was better than us, and all it took was 9/11 and COVID for them to get put in the same boat as us. Mexicans was doing it too. Now look at how y'all get treated. You're in the same boat as us. Humble your motherfucking self. Because all it takes is one. And I got to sit here and listen to a bunch of pompous ass assholes telling me I need to educate myself on you. Last time I checked, you're part of the problem.
So you're saying that the reparations should come from them? Or some of them?
Some of them.
Yeah, that's interesting.
African American, actual Africans went out their way to separate themselves from us. But when I found out they helped their Jewish ass fund the slave trade too, oh, no wonder you get treated like shit. You thought you was better than us.
Right.
You know how I found out that actual Africans is beneath being a nigga? Hotel Rwanda. When the guy said, and I quote, "You're not even a nigger. You're African American. You're African, I mean." I'm like, damn. So you're beneath us to them. Now, I don't condone what's happening to white men now, but you kind of dug your own grave on this one.
Yeah, but those aren't the same people, though.
They aren't the same.
You know,
people.
it's just like the people who say, "I do this," but as soon as I do this, everybody's saying it's not the same group of people, dumbass.
Right.
One group of people thinks that you should do these things, and another group of people don't like that. Stop trying to conflate both of the people as the same group when obviously, for instance, it's two groups of men who will treat you like crap. And there's one group of men who will treat you like crap and another group who won't. You tend to go after men that treat you like crap. I mean, I don't understand why you're...
It's just like how women will equate what a couple people that they chose with all men.
Yeah. All men are trash. Yeah. All the men that you go after. You can keep that yourself. I'm not even interested in you. Right. I don't understand what you're talking about.
Right. I have no interest in you. Those are just the men you pick.
Yeah. All the men you pick are trash. You didn't finish the sentence.
Yeah, and make better decisions.
Like you go out with 20 men, 50 men, and each of them treats you the same way. It's because of what you're doing. Literally. If you change your... Look, if those same men don't treat other women that way, the only common denominator is you. Change your behavior, and you'll get different results.
With your insane ass.
I don't understand why that's so difficult to understand. There's groups of women who go out, with enough clothes, like they have enough clothes that would barely be able to cover a postage stamp on each nip, and probably a small piece of fabric covering their nether regions, and they're saying, why is everybody always looking at me? Really?
I'm sorry, you're out here practically butt ass.
That doesn't even make any sense. If you don't want people to look at you when your butt is hanging out, when your boobs are hanging out, how about you don't have those hanging out? And to be fair, you can wear what you want, and just know that if you wear something like that, people will stare.
Right. Just like
that doesn't even make. Go ahead.
Or when they do shit like that, say they're not doing it for male attention. Then what the fuck are you doing?
You know what? That would pretty much be like me wearing a suit made of meat, going into a bear cage and getting angry at the bears for wanting to eat me because I smell like food. You may not be doing that for their gaze. You may not want them to look at you. And yet, guess what's going to happen if you go out in public?
Right.
Like, I mean, you cannot be.
Guys are creepy when they see naked women. They enjoy it. But don't sit here and get,
No.
and get mad.
No. They're not creepy because of that. They're creepy because they're unattractive.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. They're only creepy because they're unattractive. That's true. Unattractive guys to you are creepy when you walk outside butt ass. But you're not doing it for male attention. But yet, if
you're not doing it for male attention, why don't you go out wearing a muumuu?
Right.
Or a
if
burlap
a guy,
sack?
right, or if a guy that's eye candy shows up and he compliments you while you're butt ass naked, guess what you're doing? Waterfalls. You're wetting the pants now.
Right.
He can fuck you and leave you.
And you'll say all men are trash because you chose him.
But you chose him. Don't get mad at the decision you made. You got your cheeks clapping, he left you alone. That's the thing with pretty people. They know you're disposable. They're borderline narcissists.
Borderline. I don't know.
They're narcissists.
Right.
When you really think about it, pretty people have.
It's a much higher chance of them being narcissists. Mm-hmm. Like it would have to be extremely difficult for an unattractive person to be a narcissist. Not to say it's impossible, but they must have. Well, I don't know how that goes, but right. I'm pretty sure psychologically
that's why I find myself like I'm always honest to everybody, but narcissist, I'm a different type of honest.
Okay.
Like I'm harsh. I want to be harsh to you when I'm being honest to a narcissist, cause you so goddamn full of yourself. I just said some wild shit to you. You don't care. You just care about your image. You care about how you look. And that's the problem with narcissists. They care too much about making other people look bad, but making themselves look great. And that's fine. That's fine. But man, life is gonna humble you in a way that you'll never imagine. Cause what happens when your looks fade away?
Around age 40 or so. Now, there are a few women that are able to maintain their attractiveness well into their 60s and 70s, which I find impressive, but that doesn't tend to happen with most women. Most women wear a lot of makeup.
My homeboy said...
Well, some women. I don't know about most, but a lot.
Well, not my homeboy, a former coworker of mine. He said, bro, he says, I don't give a fuck what a female says. He says, when I'm 80 years old, I can still bust a nut and keep my legacy going as somebody that's young. He said, some chicks are pretty much useless after 30.
Wow.
He says, because your fertile is not the same.
Mm-hmm.
It affects your body different.
Mm-hmm.
You have a high risk of having these problems all after 30.
Mm-hmm.
He says, so I don't even know why they get this whole narcissistic.
Well, the thing is, look, not everybody wants to have children.
And that's fine. I like the practice.
Right. The thing about it, though, is that there are a group of men who do want to have children. So even with Tia Mowry, if a man, and the thing is, she's a very pretty lady.
She's very attractive.
I mean, I'm not sure how anybody's going to take this, but she's pretty to me.
No, she's
I'm saying.
attractive. I've
So,
never
but
heard anybody say Tia and Tamara are ugly.
no, they're not.
I've never.
They're very
not,
pretty.
They're very attractive.
They have great voices. Their mannerisms are actually kind of cool.
They're
I don't
very-
necessarily. Huh?
They're very feminine
Yeah.
in a way, but it's just like
I don't necessarily like what T has been doing because, like, what were you expecting? You thought that you'd be able to go out there because you are attractive, which is the case. So, I mean, she actually has maintained her attractiveness up till this point. She's nice looking, right? But she was expecting that whatever she was getting when she was younger, that she'd get the same thing. And I can understand why she'd think that because she's still hot.
yeah.
Unfortunately, though, most guys would want to have a legacy, and if they would want to get with you to stay in a relationship with you for that, they wouldn't be able to do that because, well, you're no longer fertile. I mean, and even if you are, the pregnancy could kill you.
Right.
And
There are women out there right now that's coming out saying freezing their eggs is a scam.
No, it is. Because the thing is, the eggs may not, like, well, wasn't this something like one lady went to do that and then something happened and she lost her eggs?
Yeah, I think so.
Like, I don't know if it was because, like, the process, like, something happened and all the eggs were just lost because the refrigeration thing broke, or if it was because, like, oh, it wasn't that. It was because the ones that they did have, the ones that they had weren't viable. Like, they thought they were, but I don't know if it was something that happened or if they originally weren't. I'm not sure. But, like, she lost all the eggs that she'd frozen, hoping she'd be able to have a baby, later on. It didn't work that way.
So sometimes you gotta.
Yeah, and not only that, but and also the amount of money that it costs is not 100%. Like, everybody who gets that, you're not guaranteed. Just because you freeze your eggs, you're not guaranteed to have a child even after that.
Listen, y'all should know as a child to always take the chicken out the freezer when your mama asks you to.
Right.
Okay? You got to take the, you know what? I'm into the pot on that. I can't even follow up. That was tough. Round of applause. That was tough. All right, y'all. All right. My name Dontavius Rowe. That's Vince.
You.
Over there's our studio audience. I mean, you ain't gonna like they're gonna catch me clapping, so we just hit the right. Yeah, whatever. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Put your pussy lips on live, I'll give you $1,000.